Hey, what is up, guys? It's your boy Seventh here, back with another video. And today we got a topic to talk about that is a serious topic, I believe, because it is killing the gaming industry. And that is the remake era that we're currently stuck in. This era of remaking games needs to end and end soon. Now, I am a Sony fanboy, as you would say, but I don't go online arguing over a piece of fucking plastic. I may buy some merch here or there and I rep the team, but I don't argue online, oh, my console better, this and that. They both have their advantages and disadvantages, and I actually like some games on Xbox. There are some exclusives that Xbox got that I go to the Game Pass for, or I use my friend's Xbox to play games. So I just like to get that out of the way before people jump down my neck, oh, you're a fanboy, this and that. Because this news actually hurts me. Sony is remaking Horizon Zero Dawn, a game that came out in 2017. And just recently, Horizon Forbidden West recently came out, which I beat, which is a good game, by the way. I'm planning on making a review, but I'm just going to leave it at that. But what the fuck, Sony? This is where people start criticizing Sony, and I can't defend them because they're right. There is no need for another remake for a game that came out in 2017, less than 5 years old, a decade old, bro. This is madness. And the reason why this is happening is because I'm also going to toss myself in that pool, because I'm also a hypocrite. But I buy remakes of games that deserve it, that are very old, that are dated, that are been brought to new life, like Resident Evil 2. Because we got a lot of things to talk about. We got a lot of remakes to discuss, because I want to get my point across clearly on which remakes are okay and which remakes are not okay. The Horizon Zero Dawn remake, that is not okay. Sony, you need to cut it out. The game just need a 60 frame update and some visual boost. There's no need to overhaul or make the combat mechanics the same as Forbidden West. There's literally no need. Now for remakes like the Resident Evil 2 remake and 3 remake, those games needed it because those games were beyond dated and they took it into an entirely new direction. It was the same story, but it was kind of a new way of telling that story. So I would consider the Resident Evil remakes necessary. Those were necessary. Now, let's say if they remake Resident Evil 6 or 5, now we have a problem because those games are that old. Those games are, I want to say, pretty recent, but recent enough, like you could go onto an old system and they play fine. So, another remake that came out recently, oh my god, this was also underneath Sony, which was unnecessary. The Last of Us remake, part 1. Why the fuck was that even a thing? I did not buy that shit. Like I said, for certain remakes, I'm not touching it until it hits the sale bin. A $70, and these remakes are being priced at $70 now. The Last of Us Part 1 remake was $70. Didn't come with no multiplayer. It didn't come with the Part 2 movement and gameplay. It was the same shit, just better graphics, and nobody could tell me different, bro. Same shit, just the graphics was better. I still have the remastered version of The Last of Us Part 1, and I'm going to play that. Also, there was no multiplayer. So you want me to spend $70 on a product that don't have the original multiplayer? And it's just, oh, nope. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not even going to continue on with that. Sony has a problem right now. They're being very anti-consumer. I don't like the direction they're heading, and everybody's right to criticize Sony. I don't care what it is. Like, Sony's just been on a downward trend recently. Also, I talked about this on my last video, the Dead Space remake. Nothing really changed but the graphic being boosted, and they opened up some new areas. But does that warrant a $70 price tag for the Dead Space remake? No, brother. And it's coming from EA. If it wasn't coming from EA, if somebody had bought the Dead Space license from EA and decided to remake Dead Space, I would be completely fine with it. It's just that you guys got to watch where your money's going to. We don't need to keep feeding these bad habits. The more we feed these bad habits to these companies, the more they're going to take advantage of us. And that's really my main point. I don't want us to be taken advantage of. Some of these companies don't deserve this remake money. Some of these games don't deserve a remake. Some of these games are still new. Like if it's from a game from the 90s, sure, early 2000s, like 2005 and up, that's fine. But if we hit in early 2010s, late 2010s, those games don't need a remake. Maybe a patch, a 60 frame patch and a visual boost, but a full-on remake? Come on, it's kind of getting ridiculous. And I don't know, man. If we keep allowing this, if certain consumers keep allowing this, it's just gonna get worse, bro. What happened to making something new, creating a new IP, fresh ideas? Nowadays, these devs are just looking, and these companies, not mostly the devs, but some of these publishers and these big corporate companies are just looking at these old title IPs and not trying to make a new sequel out of it, or at least reboot it. They're just like, oh no, just remake it, same game, same story, you know, because it's less work. It literally is less work. And they're just slapping a new coat of paint on it, and it's just annoying. So that's my point of view on it. If we don't leave this era behind, if we don't stop, we will be in trouble. And like I said, I am a hypocrite. I am guilty of this, but I am deciding who and where my money is going to. Like, recently, upcoming Resident Evil 4 remake is coming out, but that game is so damn beloved and has so many different iterations of it. It deserves the remake. Resident Evil 4 deserves this remake. It's gonna have a 2 for 2. And to clarify even more as to why I'm getting the Resident Evil 4 remake from Capcom is because Capcom hasn't grifted their gamers. They haven't been outright disrespectful. They haven't done shady things that I've known of. The only shady things that Capcom has done was rip off some artwork from some person that was in Resident Evil 4. They ripped off an artist's artwork and put it in Resident Evil 4. That's the only thing I've known Capcom for, and that was just recently. But before that, I know nothing of Capcom being a shitty company. So that's why I said they kind of deserve it, because they're actually putting in effort into their remakes. Now, for a company like EA, just grabbing another development studio, not even the original development studio, because they shut down the original development studio. They sucked it dry, and then the original guy left. They grabbed another team, say, hey, here's this game, redo it so we can make some easy money. People complain about single player games. Well, let's redo this single player game that's already been done. Hard work already been done. We're just gonna put some extra polish on it. That's how I'm trying to put it for you guys, if that makes sense. But you guys let me know what you guys think about this whole remake era we're in. I don't want to drag this video off for too long. Just want to get some thoughts and opinions out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.